So the PS4 was released in November 15th of 2013, and then the Xbox One came out a whole 7 days later, which basically means that the console is about 6-7 years old, which means that it's time for some new consoles. Now, I remember when I was younger and the PS4 and the Xbox One were announced, I was a little kid thinking, whoa, why do I need to replace my PS3? This thing is still amazing. It's producing amazing games. There is no reason for this. This is all for money. And while it's still probably all for money, I gotta say, now that I'm older and I play my PS4 and my Xbox One a lot more, Jesus Christ, we need an upgrade. Like, the loading times on my PS4 are awful, and the storage is a headache, and everything's slow, and my PS4 is making noises now. It's probably gonna break down on me soon. The new consoles could not come any quicker. And usually I only get one because I only need to get one, and then I wait until the other one, maybe like 3, 4, 5 years later, for it to drop to like a $200 bundle with some pretty good games. That's usually what I wait for, and it's what I'm gonna do again. So I was getting really excited for E3. Because, you know, last console wars, the PS4 blew out the Xbox on E3, basically guaranteeing its place in my home. And it was the right decision. The PS4 definitely won this console war. But then, you know, they decided to switch up. Sony said, I don't like E3 anymore and I don't want to be its friend. And then Xbox just decided to release everything, you know, like a whole 9-10 months in advance. So yeah, literally, I don't know what we're waiting for anymore in this console war. I don't know how people are going to make the decision from one to the other. But if you ask me, it doesn't really matter. Well, but if you ask me, I don't really think there are actually too many factors that people are really going to want to look at when deciding which consoles they're going to get. In fact, I only think that there's one thing that's the most important factor in the console wars this year, and I think that's backwards compatibility. Now, yes, obviously there are other things, but I don't think they're that important. I really don't think they're going to be factors in people's decisions, and let me tell you why. First things first, we have specs, okay? Most, not all, okay? Now, this is not for all people. This is not for all the dedicated people. Most consumers who play video games don't give a shit about specs, okay? It's as simple as that. PS4 and the Xbox One looked very, very, very close. They looked almost identical, okay? You can put side-by-side videos if you want. I'll probably show some right now. And yeah, you know, in some games, they look a little bit more vibrant on the PS4. They look a little bit better, I guess, on the Xbox. I don't know. Seriously, they look really similar. No one actually cares. If we really cared about graphics, we'd get PCs. But we're looking for a really good experience, at home, fun experience. We're trying to grab a controller and play some video games, okay? We're not trying to look at the most detailed, beautiful things. That's why I think either way, both a PS5 and Xbox Series X are going to run great. They're going to run better than the PS4 and Xbox One, so what does it really matter? And now the next thing, price. Well, for price could be a factor, but I don't think it is, and let me tell you guys why. So people who work for Sony have been asked, you know, what can we know about the price for the actual PS5? And all they said is, we don't really know how much we want to put it at. We don't know how much we need to sacrifice and how much of a profit we need to be able to make. Fun fact, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but when the PS3 first came out, for every PS3 sold, they were actually losing money. But, you know, companies sometimes do this, or they don't make a lot of money from their consoles. And the point of that is because they're making money off of the games you're going to buy and off the subscriptions you're going to pay for. Not the actual console. That's not their money maker, but that's what you need to buy stuff from them. So, I don't think it's going to be too important, the actual price, because Sony kind of not really wanting to give a price kind of just confirms that they're waiting for Xbox to say how much they're going to put it for, and then however much Xbox puts it for, they're going to see if they put it lower or keep it at the same price. But I don't see them going any higher, and I think they got it right last console wars. I think 400, 500 is what we're going to be looking at for both. I really don't think it's going to be different prices. If anything, the PS5 might be a little bit cheaper, but I don't see $100 off. I definitely don't see $100 off, especially when the Xbox isn't going to make you buy the Kinect this time. So I'm assuming we're going to see around the similar price, and I don't think that's going to be a factor for most people, because I think it'll be the same price. Exclusives. Well, exclusives are always going to get the exclusive people. If you want to play your Xbox games, I don't know how many more there are, but I think there's still, you know, Gears and Halo. You want to play your Xbox game, play your Xbox games. You want to play PlayStation games, which in my opinion, there's some more. You want to play Spider-Man, you want to play Last of Us, you want to do all that stuff, then you do there. Exclusives are important to the people who really want to play the exclusives. But for the casual gamer who doesn't really have that much of a preference, I think it's going to go to backwards compatibility. If you're getting a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, odds are you own the PS4 and Xbox One, and you still have games for that. What are you going to want with those games? Usually every single time we end up selling that console, we end up selling the games with it. But what if we could just sell the console and keep our favorite games and still be able to play them on our newest consoles? Xbox has already gone on the way and said that they are going to be backwards compatible, and that's huge. But the only thing is, how backwards compatible are they really going to be? So they already said they're going to play all their Xbox One games. I'm assuming they're going to play a good catalog of their Xbox 360 games. I'm not sure how many. But for the Xbox One, they, promoted the fact that you can play original Xbox games, but you can only play maybe like 60 really. They were adding more every single month, but then they stopped doing it. Obviously, I'm assuming for the release of the Xbox Series X, but are they going to continue it once the Xbox Series X gains relevance? Like, it's important that they included Xbox One. That's a win for anybody who wants to play the Xbox One games on their Xbox Series X. I'm assuming people are going to want to. Xbox 360, I'm assuming it's not going to be too behind. I'm hoping that it's around the same catalog that it had for the Xbox One, which was a decent catalog. So yeah, 39 games from the original Xbox and then 568 games from the Xbox 360. That's a lot of games. And I'm pretty sure they're going to include all of those for the Xbox Series X. And then you're adding all of the Xbox One library. That's a large amount of backwards compatibility. I'd be kind of disappointed if they stopped adding original Xbox games as time moved on. But still, just the fact that they're offering Xbox 360 and some original Xbox games, that goes a long way. PS4 won because it was the system for the gamers. But how could you really argue that they're for the gamers if the PS5 has zero backwards compatibility? And now at the recording of this video, nothing has been said about whether they will have backwards compatibility or not. Some people have assumed that they are, but they're only assuming that it's only going to be PS4 backwards compatibility, which wouldn't be bad. It'd be kind of lazy in my opinion because Xbox is still going out of its way to do Xbox 360 and original Xbox One, but some backwards compatibility is better than nothing. But if Sony decide to pull off the absolute mad dream of putting backwards compatibility for the PS4, PS3, PS2, and PS1, even just far as PS2, I genuinely do think that would make Sony 100% win the console wars this year. Because unless you have a really, really old PS3, like one of the old fat PS3s, there's a good chance that there's no way for you to play your PS2 games with an HDMI unless you mod it. And mods can get expensive, and the common consumer isn't going to do that. But if you go out of your way, Sony, and you say, hey, by the way, you can play San Andreas on your PlayStation 5. You can play PS3 games. You can play PS4. You can even play PS1. That's going to be the first system that Sony's ever released that can do that. Unlike Xbox, who did it with Xbox One. Not all the way, but they did do it. I think if Sony goes out of their way and says full backwards compatibility, I genuinely do think that would win them the console war. But if Sony doesn't decide that backwards compatibility isn't going to be an option for them, I really do think that's going to be a hit. It's going to be a hit for me because I do like the fact that Xbox has gone out of its way. It's probably a little bit more expensive. It probably takes more time to add backwards compatible games, and I don't know. I think that's going to go a really long way when it comes to the end of the console wars. I think it's one of the only factors out there. But that's just my opinion. It's just a little random mine. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Ivan. If you liked the video, make sure you like, comment, anything you have, and any comments about games you want me to play, 'cause I'm still doing that. And then subscribe. And if you've already subscribed, hit the notification bell to try to stay active on this page. And love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.